sure you're really nice to those that have a Tar Heel shirt on this morning. For you Clemson and wrong Carolina fans, we'll pray for you. So you usually see me up here talking about finances or the building. That's my role here at Judah as an elder. It's also part of our job as elders to look after Pastor Glenn and Pastor Emily. We asked them to take some time off. Today is one of those days to rest. If I had to guess, I bet Glenn might find a church to preach at because it's Sunday. But last week, we had a ball. It was an extravagant Giving Sunday. And I've been here for every offering we've taken up. And this one, far and away, is bigger than anything that we've ever taken up. Isn't God good? Isn't God good? You see, I'm excited about the building we're going to build. But I'm more excited about the return you're going to get from the seed, from the extravagant gift. You see, it was 7 years ago that my wife and I decided we'd give an extravagant gift. It started in January, and we had Micah a year or two earlier, and we were starting a company. And if you remember the fruits and the giving sermon that Glenn did, we were like apples. We were doing okay. And Lord spoke to me. It was like, you need to close to double what you're giving in tithes. What? So we did. The Lord said it. January, February, March, April, May, we had a baby, Caleb. Things were tight, but not unattainable. Had some savings, and it comes late July, August, and the Lord says, give an extravagant gift. Yes. Similar to Glenn's message for a never again or ask me the thing you need. So I went to my wife and I was like, I'm pretty sure I heard this. Can you confirm? Because I don't know if that's what we should do. And she confirmed it, so we gave it. Fast forward to September, I'm mowing the grass. And she usually calls me Love. When she likes me, she calls me Love. I'm mowing the grass and I hear, Michael. She's up on the deck. It's not God up there, it's my wife. I'm like, yeah, baby. She said, we have no money. My God, come on. I said, excuse me? So our bank account is zero. So we had a decision to make. Do we go to the book that says, test me in this in Malachi, see if I don't open a floodgate of heaven and pour out blessings so much that you can't control it? Do we trust the book that says, never has my righteous been forsaken or my seed begging bread? It's hard to go to the book when there's zero in the bank. We stuck with the book. We didn't reduce our tithe. We kept giving. We landed a project at work. And it was November. I got a check. And if you added up the 20% that we were giving, you added up our extravagant gift, it was only 10% of what we got in November. Isn't God good? So while I'm excited about your extravagant gift, I'm excited about the harvest you're going to get from it. Yes, amen. See, on September 11th today, if you were alive in 2001, you know what this day means. 2,996 people lost their lives. We went into a battle we didn't have a book for. Everybody said, what do we do? it prompted so many hundreds of thousands to join the army and military and said, I don't know what we should do, but I should do something. A battle that we didn't know what to do. Wouldn't it have been nice to have a book for it? Today we honor those that lost their lives, and we show thanks to those that went to serve. In prayer this morning, it was praying for liberty, and we have the liberty to worship freely in this country because you went and fought the war. So thank you. 9/11 also means something to me personally. See, 9/11, 1976 is when my mom and dad got married. Today would have been their 46th anniversary. 5 months ago, my father lost his life suddenly. And what a battle. Wouldn't it be nice to have a book for the battle? Hard as a son, hard as a brother. I couldn't imagine, and Mom, I know you're here today, I couldn't imagine 46 years. The Bible says, leave an inheritance for your children's children, and I didn't plan on saying this, but there's memories that are created not for me, but for him. And you and Dad gave extravagantly. The chairs in this sanctuary, they gave extravagantly when the church had no money. These are things we're going to remember, that their kids are going to remember. But it's a battle. Wouldn't it be nice if there was a book for it? So today I'm going to take us to Joshua. You see, Joshua was a leader after Moses. Moses was in the wilderness for a long time. It was kind of the symbol of grace. You're messing up, you're going to stay here, we'll give you grace. Joshua was the leader after Moses. He was more of a commander leader. But his first task is to do something that Moses never did. Cross the Jordan. His first task is to go conquer Jericho. He had a battle and didn't know what to do with it. Wouldn't it be nice if he had a book for it? Well, I'm going to go to Joshua 1:7, and this is the Lord speaking to Joshua. It says, above all, be strong and very courageous to carefully observe the whole instruction of my servant Moses commanding you. Do not depart from it right or left so that you will have success wherever you go. Pay attention here. The book of instruction must not depart from your mouth. You are to recite it day and night so that you may carefully observe everything written in it. For then you will prosper and succeed in whatever you do. Here's a book of instruction. If you don't know what to do, follow it. It's going to be difficult times, follow it. Joshua, I know who you are. You're not like Moses. I can give you instructions, and you will follow it. So today I'm going to talk to you about the book for the battle. Wouldn't it be nice? You see, we get books of instructions, and sometimes we don't follow them. Like I think IKEA cabinets, if you've ever tried to put one together, I don't know if their instructions aren't good or I just can't read well. Hanging blinds, if you've ever tried to hang blinds with your spouse, you need to go to the marriage conference in a couple of weeks. The instructions are there, but they're complicated. You got to follow them. Joshua has a book of instruction. The Lord said, here, I'm going to walk you through this. It starts actually in 1:1. The Lord spoke to Joshua, now you and all your people prepare to cross over the Jordan. So, what Joshua do? Hey, spies, go check it out. And for those that know the story of Joshua, the battle of Jericho, the walls fall, they capture the city. That's not the punchline here. So they came back, and the spies said, they're scared. They met with Rahab. They said, they're scared. They're shook. You got this. All right. Check. 3:7. The Lord spoke to Joshua. There's a trend here. Today I will begin to exalt you in the sight of Israel, so they will know that I will be with you just as I was with Moses. Command the priest carrying the Ark of the Covenant, when you reach the edge of the waters, stand in the Jordan. You see, the Ark of the Covenant at that time, it represented the presence of the Lord. So it was this gold box. And in it, there was a budding rod of Aaron that symbolized a dead thing coming back to life. There was a pot of manna that showed provision, God's provision. And there were the 10 Commandments, represented the law. It said, I want to take this box and have the priest walk to the edge of the Jordan with it. And you think it would be easy. But the Jordan at the time, I got baptized in the Jordan. Anybody been to the Jordan trip for Israel? Here's another plug. It's in January of this year. If you go to the Jordan now, it is about maybe here to the end of the stage. 15 foot wide. The water moves slow, but it is cold. Freezing cold. Back then, and even up until the 1900s, the Jordan was 100 foot wide. It was coming from the mountains down to the Dead Sea, one of the lowest parts of Earth. It was rapid water. If you've been up to the North Carolina mountains, my wife and I went and hiked. There's white water everywhere, and I'm like, I don't even want to get close to it. At that time, it was flood stage, so you have 100 foot wide of water, currents rolling so fast they're going to take you away. You're like, hey, priest, the Lord said, y'all go in front of us and carry the Lord's presence to the edge of the water. Seems easy until you think about the current of the river. So they did. And the priest that carried the Ark of the Covenant stood at the edge of the water. Stopped in the middle. The water stopped. So scholars say that the water stopped. The current stopped 16 miles upstream, and it went vertical. The people in Jericho had to see it and say, oh, my Lord, they're coming. The current shifted, right? It went from this thing that was improbable, impassable, impossible for Moses, until they took the Lord's presence into the water. The Lord said it to me this way: if you bring the Lord's presence, it will change the current of your situation. So what might seem impossible, improbable, impassable, you just got to bring the Lord's presence, and it will change the current of your situation. If your job's not doing well, bring the Lord's presence into your situation. If your marriage is not doing well, I would argue you need to bring the Lord's presence into your situation. If you're struggling with addiction, I would argue you need to bring the Lord's presence, and it will change the current of your situation. So the current, it rose up, and then the Lord said to Joshua, after everybody had crossed, and we're talking about at least 40,000 soldiers. Some people say it's as many as 2 million people. A huge group passes. So after the nation had finished crossing the Jordan, the Lord spoke to Joshua, choose 12 men from the people, one man from each tribe, and command them, take 12 stones from this place in the middle of the Jordan where the priests are standing, carrying them with you, and sit them down at a place where we're going to spend the night. It's a whole lot easier than the last one. So what Joshua do? He turned around and said, hey, get 12 stones so we can remember this, and put them down. Book of instruction. Then the Lord commanded Joshua, again a theme, y'all come up out of the Jordan. It's another easy one. So what Joshua do? Turn around and said, hey guys, come on. And I feel like the Lord said, I gave you a couple of easy ones in a row. And you know, when you're in your prayer time and the Lord tells you something and you're like, are you sure? You want me to do what? Well, it's coming. So at that time, the Lord said to Joshua, make flint knives and circumcise the Israelites again. What? I mean, I was crossing rivers and picking up stones and telling the priest, and you want me to make flint? I'm not sure why I'm. Make flint knives and circumcise again? They spent so long in the wilderness, there's a new generation that they've got to circumcise. But at this point, I'd be like, wife, give me confirmation. Everybody give me confirmation that we're going to do this. So he does it. And if I was in Jericho, like if I'm the commander in Jericho at that time, you know, I see all this thing happen, and I see 40,000 plus soldiers coming. I see 2 million people down the hill behind my guarded walls, and they start circumcising themselves. One of two things are going to happen. I'm reading them like, they are crazy. We should be scared. Or I'm going to attack. Why wouldn't you? Go win the battle. The Bible would have changed at that point, but if I was back then, I'd be like, let's go get them. So he circumcised them. And after this big ask of him in response from Joshua, the Lord decided he would show up in person. So the commander of the Lord's army, when Joshua was near Jericho, he looked up and saw a man standing in front of him with a drawn sword in his hand. Joshua approached him and asked, are you for us or are you for our enemies? Neither. I have come as the commander of the Lord's army. I'm not for you or them. I'm for the Lord. So he said, remove the sandals from your feet. And he did, as it's been shown. And he got on his face. And he said, look, Joshua, thanks for coming to me and listening. I have handed you Jericho and its king. You're just going to have to follow the book of instruction. He got on his face before the big battle and said, Lord, what is your will? And the Lord said, I've already won the battle. I'm going to hand it to you. I'm going to hand you Jericho. I'm going to hand you its king. I'm going to hand it to you. And here's how we're going to do it. For 6 days, you're going to march around the city. And you're going to blow your horn. Right? You're going to carry the Lord's presence. So, day 1, they blow the horn. Day 2, I'm not going to do 6 because I'm going to get dizzy. They do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And early on the 7th day, they started at dawn. And they marched around the city 7 times in the same way. That was the only day they marched around 7 times. After the 7th time, the priest blew the trumpets. Joshua said to the people, shout, for the Lord has given you this city. He said, always a but. There's always a but. But the city and everything in it are set apart for the Lord for destruction. Only Rahab the prostitute and everyone with her in the house will live because she hid us. But keep from yourselves the things that are set apart, or you'll be set for destruction. If you take any of those things that are set apart, Israel will be destroyed. For all the silver and the gold, the iron and the ore are dedicated to the Lord, must go to his treasury. I was good with all of it until that part, if I'm a soldier. Say everything to be destroyed, except for the silver, the gold, the iron. You see, this is the first time in biblical history that there was a shift in how these soldiers are paid or not paid. Right. Before this battle, all the silver, all the gold, all the iron are collected by all the soldiers. And then they divvy it out. You did well, you get more. You did poorly, you get less. Vince, I don't know why I pointed to you. Right? So that's how you get paid. But this time, it was the Lord that's went in the battle. So all the gold and the silver are going to go to the Lord's treasury. I read this and said, man, I felt that way when I first got asked to tithe. You know, I've always done it this way. You don't have to get tight on me. I'm talking about money. I got this job. I went to work. We started this company. Did you? Did you? Did you get that job? Did you start that company? Am I not with you in that job? Did I not provide for you in that job? Did I not help you start that company? Did I not put people in front of you that would make you successful? And you've got a problem with the silver and the gold and the iron? When I'm helping you in this battle? When I've won the battle? They had to have a similar concept of thought. I'm going out and risking my life and I'm working hard and I don't get it. It's stored up in the Lord's treasury. My hard work. So the people shouted, trumps sounded. Y'all probably know this story from when you were young. The walls fell down. They conquered the city. Everybody's shouting. Everybody's happy. We got jerseys on today. Everybody's celebrating a win. And fame spread. 6:27 says, and the Lord was with Joshua, and his fame spread throughout the land. So it's translated to say the word of the Lord was for help to Joshua. But I know from my sports days, and I'm guessing what will happen with App State as they beat the number 6 ranked team yesterday. Got to get a little confident. Lord, use me. The Lord, you see what the Lord did to use me? At some point, you've got to think that, did you see me? Did you see what I did? Everybody knows it now. Joshua, App State. I would say the Tar Heels, but we won by like 6 versus Georgia State. So fame spreads through the land. His next assignment is a place called Ai. It's a tiny city for Joshua and the Israelites. This is small. I've been here before. I know what this is. We're going to send some spies out. So they sent spies out. Then they came back. And they said, we don't need everybody. This is small potatoes here. This is a small battle. Send a couple thousand. So they did. And they got smoked. 36 people died. They ran back to their camp. They went from the top dogs to the underdogs. What happened? As I read this, something's missing here. You see, in 1:1, the Lord spoke to Joshua. In 3:7, the Lord spoke to Joshua. In 4:1, the Lord spoke to Joshua. In 4:14, the Lord told Joshua. In 5:2, the Lord said to Joshua. In 5:15, the commander of the Lord's army said to Joshua. In 6:2, the Lord said to Joshua. I didn't see the Lord say a word to Joshua. I didn't see Joshua go to the Lord for a word. The small battle. How often is it that we think our God is too big for our small battle? Or we think we're big enough for the small battle. Oh, that look, I got that. Oh, that person that said that thing, oh, I got that. Oh, my job situation, you got me the job, I got that. How often is it that we don't bring him in to our small battles? Bring him in to the small battles. Joshua 7:6 says, then Joshua tore off his clothes. I'm not going to do that part. Before the ark of the Lord lay his face down until the evening. I find it interesting. He's here after the battle. He didn't go to the Lord. The small one, putting dust on his head. I read this and I thought about my 5-year-old saying, Daddy, I didn't follow your instruction, and why can't I do this? Why did it fail? Dad, they're going to talk about me. Joshua is pouting. We're the strong Israelites, and we got beat by 3,000. Then the Lord showed up. And I think there's times where I will read and I try to think about how the Lord would talk, how God would give his guidance. And I've got to imagine at this point, after he's drawn up a whole book of instruction, I've given you a playbook here and you're not following it. He's not going to say, hey, Joshua, stand up, buddy. Come here. Come on. You know, he's got to. Joshua, stand up. Stand up. I told you what to do. You didn't do it. Get up off your face. Go back to the book and follow it. You missed it. You took something that was set apart. I view it as stolen. Get up and do what you're supposed to do. You see, I read that and it brought me back to a time that I played football many years ago, about 20 years ago for the University of North Carolina. I had the opportunity to play receiver. I was fast. I don't know if it was as impressive that I played or that I still fit in the uniform. The proportions are a little different, but I had the opportunity to play for the University of North Carolina for 4 years. The Carolina. I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry for South Carolina fans. We are the Carolina. And it reminded me of a time. I was fast, but that was about all I had. I was just fast. I could run. Couldn't catch great. I could run. And there was this time, this passage the first time I read it, 8 years ago, just brought to my memory. You see, I need anybody played football? Former linebackers, anybody? Okay, just give me 2, fellas. Oh, there you, yes. Perfect. Just come on. Come on up here. Come on. I need you. Come on. You're going to be my Doug Justice. Give me one more. Come on. Let's go. Yes. I love it when God puts a plan together. I'm Michael. All right, I need you to stay about right there, and you're good right there. See, it was a rainy day at practice, my sophomore year. I don't know if they have like an 8-string at that point, but I'm like 8-string. All right, maybe not that bad. And it's raining outside, and we rush indoor to our practice facility. They have a really nice practice facility now. 20 years ago, it was a floor about like the sanctuary. It was concrete. So you didn't want to be on it, right? We get in, the first teamers are going. And Coach Brewer, my coach, is like, Norton, let's go. Huh? Norton, let's go. I'm like, this is the first team. And this is the play they told me to run, right? So I'm Z. So I'm Z over here, okay? Here's a linebacker right here. That's Doug Justice over there. Let me tell you about Doug Justice real quick. You know those guys that have the big neck rolls you see on TV? They're like huge, gnarly. That's him now. He's really nice. Give me the mean, yes. Like his nose is a bit messed up because he's hit so many people so hard. You don't want to hit Doug. So that's our starting middle linebacker, Doug Justice. Nice to meet you again. And they pull up this play. And Chris, if you can help me by throwing the ball. So here's the play. I'm supposed to run that way, to simplify it, right? And there's 2 options. If it's man coverage, right? So if I go and you stay with me, I just keep running. My job's to run away from them, okay? If it's zone coverage, I love that you know this. If it's zone coverage, you're going to stay right here for sake of illustration. I'm going to sit right here in this soft spot, this pocket. I'm going to stop short of this guy. Stay away from Doug, okay? So I get in, and I feel like old habits die hard. I can just run fast. So they say hike, and it's zone. And I don't listen. I just go. You know, I'm sure I didn't catch it. I'd like to think I did. Lights are out. I'm sitting, there's no dust on my head, but if we were outside, I'd be covered. I'm underground somewhere. The cobwebs, you know, they're there. We didn't have concussion protocol back then. And I'm laying here on the ground. And little Coach Brewer comes up running. And I'm just coming to. Norton, get up! What are you doing? It's in the playbook. They're running zone. Follow the playbook. Say habla español. He always said that. And I don't even think it's correct. He always said that like, you don't understand me. It's in the playbook. Do what you're supposed to do. Thank you, guys. You see, we had playbooks. We had playbooks. They told you what to do in every situation. One sheet of the playbook looked like that. One sheet. Out of 200 sheets. It looks complicated because it tells you what to do in every situation. We studied the playbook. Before practice every day, we went into a room and we watched us running the playbook. And then we talked about the playbook. We studied the play. It is our job to know the playbook. I had a missed assignment. I knew the play. I executed it wrong. I had a missed assignment. Special teams had a playbook. Defense had a playbook. Your job is to be in your playbook. So when you get on the field, you know your assignment. Here's the book of instruction. On the field, know it. First and long, there's a play for that. Second and short, there's a play for that. Third and short, there's a play for that. You're winning the game. It's called victory formation. There's a play for that. You're out of the game and you got one last shot. It's called a Hail Mary. There's a play for that. You got an onside kick. There's a play. There's a play for that. You see? You open it up, and it's complicated. What is my assignment in this playbook? It's complicated until you study it daily. Well, I don't know what's my situation. Well, get in your playbook. What's my battle? Well, get in your playbook. You see, my journey with the playbook started about 14 years ago. I said, I'm gonna get to know this playbook. Because I started, I'm sure I missed a day, but try not to miss a day, reading a chapter at a time, front to back. You see, in my playbook, on my wedding day, you can't make this stuff up. I'm getting married now. Someone's just tugging me, say, get in your playbook. I turn to my playbook. Chris Ann, if you can come play for me. And if it's not Proverbs 31. You get it. Proverbs 31, on the day I'm getting married. 31:10 says, a righteous wife is more precious than rubies. On the day of my marriage, it's in the playbook. We started a company, I mentioned it earlier. Jeremiah 29:11 says, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and to not harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. That's how we've succeeded as a company. Because the Lord has given us the authority to run His playbook. My wife was pregnant with our first son, who's sitting over there. And for me, it was like, how do I show him what a man's supposed to be? Well, He has shown you, oh man, what is good and what is required to you. To act justly, to love mercy, to walk humbly with God. It's in the playbook. Do that. As the church was getting growing and all this was happening in America, what can bring us together? For you are saved by grace through faith is the grain of sand of what we believe. Out of all the things that can divide us, we can all agree that in the playbook it says, for you are saved by grace through faith. And this is not from yourselves, it's a gift from God. The Lord put on my heart, but God. 44 times in the Bible, there's a but God. He meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. Shortly after I started that study, my wife's father got sick with leukemia. And went from no relationship to the best relationship with her father she's ever had. He passed, but I wrote, but God up on her mirror. It was hard, it was a battle, but God. You see, God will give others plays for you to see. Because her father passed, and I heard this. God in his holy dwelling is a father to the fatherless. Oh man, have I needed that. She was given the play for me to watch. And my father passed, and it's been a battle. But it hasn't been as hard as the battle that I've watched my mom walk out day and day and day. And I said, God, what about her battle? I said, go to my playbook. There's a play for that. Go back to the playbook. It's like, where? Where you are. Go back where you are. God in his holy dwelling is a father to the fatherless and a champion of widows. Mama, got a champion. It might feel like we lost the battle. Well, you got a champion. It might not, battle's not meant to be easy. But you got a champion. And it's in the book. It's in the playbook. And I was going through this and thinking about the field, thinking about my faith. And it's not just having the playbook. It's not just knowing a verse. It's knowing the one that wrote it. The author, the finisher of our faith. You see, anybody could have got the playbook. We have the opportunity to know the one that wrote it. To know the one that has won the battle before we have faced it. To know the champion. Help me here, Vince. To know the champion. Because it's not just a coach. It's not just a coach. It's the one that articulated the whole game. He knew the result. He knows who wins. So let's stand and praise the champion.
Giants fall when you stand undefeated. Every battle you've won. I am who you say I am. You crown me with confidence. I am seated in the heavenly place, undefeated, with the one who has conquered it all. Oh, conquered it all. Oh, when I lift my voice and shout, every wall comes crashing down. I have the authority Jesus has given me. Come on, say, when I open up my mouth. When I open up my mouth, miracles. The authority, oh Jesus.
see, there's a few things that stuck with me from the field to the faith. Number one, you got to be on the team. You got to be on the team. If I can have my prayer team grab your playbooks and come up here. You see, you gotta be committed to the team. And I would be remiss if I didn't offer you to be a part of the team. You see, usually we say, bow your heads, close your eyes, but today we're all on the same team. It's not the Tar Heels, it's not the Steelers, it's not the Bears. It's Team Jesus. So if you are not on the team, if you're not committed to the team, I ask you to come meet with our prayer team. Now, at the end of service, but before you leave this building. 2, if you missed your assignment, if you knew what the play said and you said, whoop, I didn't do it. I was supposed to give grace, but I didn't. I was supposed to step up, but I didn't. I was supposed to confront, but I didn't. And you need somebody, unlike my coach, to gracefully say, get up. You got this. After service, I want you to come forward and meet with our prayer team to say, get up. 3rd and last, if you're in a battle and you don't know the play, I bet somebody's been in that battle before and they know the play. And if they don't, they got the playbook up here. So meet them up here and get the play. If you're in a battle, you don't know a situation, you feel like you're drowning, after I close us in prayer, come up here and get the play. Get on the team. Have them say, get up. The Lord's got you. The play is in the book. Lord, we love you. First of all, we thank you for your grace. We thank you for your mercy. We thank you for being our champion. We thank you for leading us, for giving us a playbook to follow. We ask for your fervor in battle, a battle that you've already won. And we ask for your grace this week as we go fight those battles. In your holy name we pray. Amen. Chris, if you can come give announcements.